Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another recap. This time we're going through the Western Bulldogs win against North Melbourne. Even though they were down 6 or 7, best 22 guys, they still found a way to come up trumps and win against North Melbourne. So anyway, let's jump into this video. So as you can see here, and I'll make it bigger for you guys like I have been doing recently, and that should be about right. There we go. Libba, 108-120 split. He was really good. I just don't think you can go with him long term. One, he's getting older. Two, there's returning cast. And I think when he returns, he's going to turn into what this Kennedy score was. This 90s guy, 95 guy that maybe hits 100 somewhat regularly, I should say. Mixing up my words there. And for that reason, I think the value drops away and he becomes sort of null and void as a pick. Not top 10 material, I don't think. Bailey Dale, on the other hand, he's an interesting one. How much of his score will be changed because of Fraser is an interesting debate. If I just go here quickly to this one and just go quarter by quarter to see Bailey Dale's scoring. He did score a 101 with 2 goals, so he's not going to score a goal regularly. You would expect, so maybe knock that away, and that's a 92 and probably a 105, 110. I think the goals came at critical times as well. So that's probably that. And he's not going to kick it at 89%. If we just look at here and we look at, how am I going to get to it? Let's just go through here. And you'll see Kickins is going to show us Bailey Dale. And then we can just go to his profile. Bailey Dale had 6 kick-ins as well. That's probably not going to regularly happen, I don't think. As he had 1 or 2 kick-ins last year. And so, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. And he did dispose of it at 80% last year, 78%. So there's a drop-off of 10%. He's not going to go at 90%. So that's probably going to drop away quite a few of his points you would expect anyway. If we just look at it here, 98 last year. So he's still probably going to be a 105, 110 guy. But if we look at the quarter by quarter as well, just on Bailey Dale, 38 in the first, 8 in the second. If you take away the goal, that's 32. That's still a 46-point first half. With the goal included, that's probably not going to regularly happen. That's then a 40-pointer. So, interesting. And if we look at North Melbourne in the first quarter, they kicked 4 behinds as well. And I don't know who had the kick-ins in the first. Let's just see. Quarter 1, Bailey Dale had 2 kick-ins in the first, that's going to regularly happen, I think. 2 kick-ins in a quarter or stuff like that. So, not outlandish. But yeah, that's just a very, very intriguing stat line, I would say. And he's one that I want to watch further. I don't want to jump, and this is what I'm going to say with the Perryman, and why I say it to hold is, it's hard to get Perryman up to a top 6 guy. Like Azorko, it's very hard to get him up there, because you're still trying to get those top quality rookies in, like a Levi Ashcroft, etc. And that extra 70k matters. So, with the likes of Perryman, it's hard to get him up, and I don't want to take a chance on Bailey Dale being a top 10 yet off one game of data, where you've got mixing roles here with 6 or 7 guys out. You've got Fraser being in the midfield, but then also down back and stuff like that. I don't want to go to Fraser because of that role could change dramatically with Treloar coming back, I think, soon. If we go to, not that one, it's this one here. Let's look at this. So, Richards was playing. Bailey Dale played through a quad complaint anyway. So he's already had complaints in this preseason that could shut him down. You've got Adam Treloar, 4 to 6 weeks. That was a week ago. So that's 3 to 5 now. You've got Bontempelli, 4 to 5 weeks away. So, and then you've got Liam Jones, 3 to 5 weeks away. That could set someone else loose as well. And then Joe Hannison as well coming back soon. So, having said all that, it's very likely that Bailey Dale, 1, also cops tags from guys that can go into and tag defenders. 2, he could also just have a poor game because guys are returning, well, just in general. 3, he could have a return game. Bont returning will take some of the scoring, if we think about it like that. Like, Sanders here with 15 touches, you don't expect Bont to do that. You don't expect Adam Treloar to do that as well. So you expect the touches to go more to the mids. So more of the scoring trend goes into the midfield, which takes away some of Dale's points. So that's why I'm just worried about Dale. Am I really going to select a keeper off of a 1 game of material, or data, I should say? It's the tough question that we need to say as content creators. Joel Frazier, 103, 109, basically the same thing. Is I don't know about this role. If you look at his scoring patterns, if we just look at it here for Joel Frazier, 13 point first, 17 point second, 33 third, and 40 point fourth quarter. So we went into the midfield and did really, really well. If we look at the CBAs for Western Bulldogs and look at them, you'll see Frazier 36% CBAs. If we look at the advanced data for Frazier, in the third quarter he had 6, and in the fourth quarter he had 6. So that was all of his CBAs, all of them happening in the second half where 36% of the CBAs occurred. Sanders 42, and that happened, I'm pretty sure, pretty much semi-regularly too. Where is it? 2, and then probably 2 more, and then 2 more, I'm guessing would be it. No, we probably had more in the first half. 6 in the second, and then also had 4 in the first. So he had 10 CBAs in the first half, and then they kind of gave the role to Frazier. So that'll be interesting in the latter half of the game, because they almost swapped and did better if you actually look at the scoring graphs of those two. Sanders had basically just a bad first quarter. If you put 10 on his first quarter to just make it up with what the second and third and fourth quarter were, he had 18, 28, I think it was. I think, yeah, that sounds like it adds up. Add another 10 points there. 82, you're looking at that going, as a mid-price, that's 63, 64 is priced at. That's pretty good. So that's why I'm not so disappointed in Sanders, to be honest with you, in terms of that. The 2 goals, a little bit annoying that he had to score the 2 goals to get there, but I think that there's avenues for him to score more points in terms of just generalized touches. If we look in round 2, he's got Collingwood. Collingwood have given up they played GWS, where they gave up a mountain load to Finn Callahan, and then they played Port Adelaide, where they still gave up a mountain load to Rosie, and had to tag as well. And you would think with the tag, they're going to tag probably Ed Richards, so that could give some avenue for Riley Sanders to score well. So I'm not going to go off of Sanders on 1 week, to be honest with you. On a 72, he's making some cash, lower break even, etc. But definitely not going to buy into him. And Supercoach wise, 64, it's fine. Tim English, wow, his decline needs to be studied. This is really, really poor. And so yeah, that is what it is. And then no one else here really. Davidson put up a classic winger rookie first gamer stat line, simply put. So that is what it is there. And no one else here really. And then for those unlucky ones that went Cleary and Supercoach, he's concussed, and that looked like a bad one. So he's going to be out for a while, and probably now with the guys returning, he's not going to be back, I don't think. And then we go over to North Melbourne. Cherry, 129, 122. The only thing I'd say about Cherry is, and I know we beat Gorn by 2 points, etc., etc., but the only thing I'd say about this is he came up against English, who we knew he'd smash in the ruck, had his usual 7 or so tackles, and went 129, 122. I'm worried about him with his disposal efficiency. I'm worried also that in the end of the game, and I know it was a hot game as well, he was already cramping and going down, and he looked, his knee didn't look stable. He already looked like he was playing with an injury almost, in a way. It feels like he's going to need to get some help in the ruck contests. I know Darling did a really good effort there with his work, but I just want to look at the ruck contest for North Melbourne, because I don't know if his high work in terms of 85% ruck contest, I don't know if that is sustainable for him, to be honest with you. I know he had roughly the same last year, but I just wonder if that's going to take a toll on him. You see 80, 76, 87. He had 85 semi-regularly, but he also had 75, 76, 73, 72, etc. here. And in those games there, I just want to look at those games there where he had below 75% CBAs, or sorry, not CBAs, ruck contests. He did this. Look at this stretch here. A 110 still, not the worst, but a 110 against Melbourne Western Bulldogs, where Western Bulldogs he had 76% and went 129. So we went 129 against the Western Bulldogs back-to-back years, and had higher points per minute last year than he did this year. I'm just concerned about the ability for him to score against the bigger rucks, especially if he's looking tired already. So that'll be a big watch. I know I went, maybe that's me, just confirmation bias with Gawn, but he looked gone on his feet. And he was playing a ruckman that had no interchanges for the last 5 minutes. And both of them were absolute shot. So, also I just wanted to put into question as well the ruck contest in terms of 23 games divided by the 1830 as well. So 1830 divided by 23 is roughly 80 ruck contests per game. If we look at his 2025 campaign, he already had 93 ruck contests. So ruck contests up in this game as well helped him out dramatically. As you don't usually see 109 ruck contests per game. If we go to Wheelo, and this is the worry about it, if we go to Wheelo and then we go to team stats, we go to AFL, we go to ruck contest per game. I think maybe I'm wrong in saying that they had 109. Oh, sorry, that's 2025. We want 2024. 2024, the AFL average was 109. They had 95. They had 109. No team averaged 109 ruck contests per game. If we look at even the Melbourne game, 102. So, very, very contested game, these games to start the year. And so, just look at this and all the teams up here with and the reason why a lot of the scores were flipped in terms of teams doing well, teams not doing well. So I think you'll see a lot more uncontested game and a lot more of the halfbacks do better in games in the future. But the only game that really has had similar ruck time was this Brisbane-Sydney game, and you saw what happened with the ruck. So will be interesting, but I think that Tristan Cherry and also, what was Gawn's? Gawn was a little bit lighter at 100 where was 7 less ruck contests, not the end of the day, to be honest with you. And I just want to see what was Gawn's ruck contest, because I swear he had quite a lot as well. Let's look at that. He had 75. It's actually not as bad for Gawn. Gawn had 75% compared to Cherry with 85. I think Gawn's going to be much more sustainable. But anyway, there's that. And what was Western Bulldogs at? Because that was an interesting one as well. Tim English, 72%, 21, and then Fraser with 7. Interesting. Probably not the brightest idea there, to be honest with you. Maybe he even went into the centre to do the ruck contest. I don't know exactly what happened there, but that's chaos. Simpkin 125, 115, that's surprising. Don't think he'll necessarily do that. If you look at the numbers there, the CBAs, I don't think it's too kind on North Melbourne. For him, 30%, that's not going to be sustainable. And that's why I'm keen to hold on like a Garcia, because Garcia had more CBA time than Simpkin, yet Garcia scored 70 less. So just shows how it can swing in roundabouts with that type of scenario there. Power 121, I think he's almost similar. Power 55%, I think that's more sustainable, to be honest with you. And I think he's the one that I'd probably go to if you're looking at an upgrade there or sort of sidewaysing someone. Power's a guy, 125, 85, that I think you can do that. Sheasel, that's fine. Zohar, Caleb Daniel, it's fine. He'll have a big game. Only 3 marks in that half-back role. He'll do better, simply put. Parker, 85, that's what we expect. LDU, Core, Scott. McKercher, 72, 66, it's fine. He was never going to be that guy that went off. And then Constanti, 55, 74. He did actually really, really well. A lot of tackles there, 6. So maybe a rookie downgrade if you get the first cash rise out of the... who is it now? Sydney, Collingwood, and also, it's not Brisbane, not Gold Coast, not Essendon. Who else played? Hawks as well. So if you get one of those guys, a rookie downgrade after to maybe a Constantine if he holds. Finn O'Sullivan, disappointing 51-51 split there. Just bringing up his actual scoring per quarter. And I'm pretty sure it was pretty just stock standard. 16, 4, 20, and also 11. So not really any quarter that... If he picks up that second quarter to a 10 or 15 pointer, that turns into a 60. So he's going to be difficult to... I feel like it's going to be a little bit annoying. But hopefully he gets the halfback role back and he can do better, because he looks a lot better in that halfback role than the wing. But win games, he's also going to have spike games you would expect. Only 3 marks and no tackles. If he can just get another 2 or 3 marks and 2 or 3 tackles there, then that's suddenly a 70. Phillips, Archer, Hansen, no one else here really matters. And that pretty much is the game review. A little bit longer this one comparative to the others, but 15 minutes should be still fine. If you guys did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. If you are listening on Spotify, give me a follow and a rating over there. And I'll see you guys in the next game review, which will be the Collingwood-Port Adelaide game, and then you'll still have the Adelaide-St Kilda game to follow that today, and then you'll get the other 2 tomorrow alongside my trade targets for both Fantasy and Supercoach. So I'll see you guys in those videos. Bye, guys.